Janabhalabha Giribharadhari Jaya Gopi Janabhalabha Giribharadhari Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Ashtotara Shata Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Chira Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Ashtotara Shata Srimad His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Chira Prabhupada Ki Grantara Shrimad Bhagavatam Ki Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Oh, glory to the assembled devotees. Oh, glory to the assembled devotees. Oh, glory to the assembled devotees. Oh, glory to Shishi Guru and Shikuranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, the Summon Bonon, Chapter 65, Lord Balaram visits Vrindavan, text number 34. Evam sarva nishajata ekeva ramato braje ramasya pshipta shitasya madhuryair braja joshitam. Evam sarva nishajata ekava ramato braje Ramasya Chittasya Madhurjair Braja Joshitam Evam Sarva Nishajata Ekeva Ramato Braje Ramasya Chittasya Madhurjair Braja Joshitam. Please chant. Evam Sarva Nisajata ekeva ramato vraje ramasya pshipta chittasya madurjyer vrajatya chitam evan sarvani sajata ekeva ramato vraje ramasya pshipta chittasya madurjyer vrajajoshitam evam sarvani sajata ekeva ramato vraje ramasya pshipta chittasya madurjair vrajajoshitam evam sarvani sajata ekeva ramato vraje ramasya psipta chittasya madurjair vrajajoshitam evam. In this manner sarva, all, nisha, the nights, jata, passed, eka, one, eva, as if, dramataha, who was enjoying, braje, in braja, ramasya, for Lord Balaram, apshita, enchanted, chittasya, whose mind, madurjai, by the exquisite charm and beauty, brajajoshitam, of the woman of Braja. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thus, for Lord Balaram, all the nights pass like a single night as he enjoyed in Braja, his mind enchanted by the exquisite charm and beauty of Braja's young ladies. Purport. Lord Balaram was enchanted by the charming pastimes of the beautiful young ladies of Braja. Thus each night was completely new experience, and all nights passed as if they were a single night. Thus end the purpose of the humble servants of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada of the 10th canto, 65th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Lord Balaram Visit Vrindavan. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Ummilitam Ghena Tasmai Sri Gurube Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Swami Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirveshesha Shunyavadi Pashatyade Shatarine Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So the word madurjai, describing the exquisite beauties, but in particularly the exquisite and charming beauty of the Braja Joshitan, the damsels of Vrindavan. However, this Madhurjai is applicable to the whole realm of Goloka Vrindavan, of Vrindavan. It is called, Vrindavan is known as the Madhurya Dham, or the realm of sweetness. Madhu means sweet, sweet like honey. And Madhurya is the sweetness of all pastimes. It's the sweetness of all relations. It's like when you bring the essence of everything in the most exalted way. So the realm of Goloka Vrindavan is the supreme realm of Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, the original form of Krishna. So in one sense, you can say that this land of Vrindavan is the original realm too. And in the realm of Vrindavan, then the most intimate pastimes of the Lord takes place. It's where the Lord um, enjoys in his um, how you say most exalted um, way. In that we understand that from the scriptures and the acharyas, and it makes sense because you know when you have a place that have the highest intimacy for you, then you don't have any of the restrictions of regulations and expectations and all these things. You can just be yourself and just simply relax in the comfort and security and trust of a place in where there is a great deal of intimacy. So Vrindavan is like that. Vrindavan is a place for Krishna that he only enjoys his pastimes. And then when Krishna goes to work in terms of ruling, making sure religious principles are followed, etc., creating all these things, then he manifests a form that will take, that type of work or that type of activity. So he expands himself. So there's a very nice description that in the Lagu Bhagavatamrita, Srila Sanatana Goswami describes this feature of Krishna as Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, and then Lord Balaram also as his expansion. It's his first expansion, and what is the difference, So, and how that takes place. I'm gonna read because very nicely explained. So the Balaram Tattva is described by Srila Sanatana Goswami. Balaram is categorized as Bhai Baba Prakash, form of Krishna. So it's Bhai Baba Prakash, form of Krishna. The two-armed flute-bearing cowherd Gopal Krishna is Swayam Rupa. That's a particular, you won't miss that one. So again, the two-armed flute-bearing cowherd Gopal Krishna is Swayam Rupa, the original form of the Godhead, in whom all other manifestations of himself are contained. For the sake of his lila, sometimes Swayam Rupa Krishna expands into a replica form of himself, such as when picnicking with his friends along the banks of the Yamuna. At that time, Krishna expanded into multiple replica forms of himself, such that each cowherd thought that Krishna was sitting across with him and placing food in his mouth alone. These type of expansions of Swayam Rupa Krishna, in which each form manifested is exactly the same of his Swayam Rupa in both physicality and psychology, is termed Prabhava Prakash. However, when Swayam Rupa Krishna expands himself for leelas that requires different emotional content, such expansions are termed Vaibhava Prakash. Even while such forms are physically the same as his Swayam Rupa, so sometimes, you see the form of, in this case, Vasudev, that it looks is Krishna. It looks like Krishna. It's just have a different mood and different psychology. Krishna as a king, or Krishna as a warrior, like that, as a Kshatriya. Different than Krishna as a cowherd boy, like that. So Lord Balaram as a Vaibhava Prakash also have a different mood than Krishna. We come to understand that Lord Balaram is the supreme servitor Godhead. Prabhupada described it like that. Supreme servitor Godhead. So his mood is of service towards Krishna. So it's a different mood. He facilitates whatever Krishna desires. In the Braja Lila, only these two kinds of expansions are required. Forms of Krishna with the same emotional makeup and forms with different emotional makeup. While the Prabhava Prakash forms are many as there are Gopas and Gopis for Krishna to stand between, there is only one Vaibhava Prakash in Braja, and that's Balaram. So you got the picture of the position, special position of Lord Balaram. So Lord Balaram's mood again is just to facilitate whatever Krishna desires to enjoy. So he's there to provide. He expands. This is explained that the whole Brajatam is an expansion from Lord Balaram. And all the paraphernalia that are used for Krishna's service is an expansion of Lord Balaram. So it's a very, very wonderful position and relationship of Lord Balaram. So, the description. This is a very wonderful description of this person, and I have a very specific purpose in which Krishna have Lord Balaram is going to be explaining here. I'm going to read the purport of Srila Jiva Goswami on this verse, and also that Srila Jiva Goswami highlights how Krishna sent Lord Balaram just in the same way that he sends Uddhava. He sends Lord Balaram and appear, at least what I understand from Jiva Goswami, and as you hear also, you can, get that he make the facilities, Krishna arranged for the facilities of Lord Balaram to enjoy the Madhurya Rasa, or the Rasa Lila, in the same way that Krishna enjoyed the Rasa Lila. Lord Balaram has that arrangement by Krishna himself. And at the same time, Lord Balaram very expertly was able to pacify all the inhabitants of Vrindavan. that were basically like dead bodies, in the absence of Krishna. So Lord Balaram was very expertly was able to pacify them, highlighting one of the main features of Lord Balaram as Guru Tattva, that is able to give Krishna to anyone and reveal Krishna's pastimes. So it is explained there. So I'm going to read Srila Jiva Goswami's purport on this verse. It seemed like a single night because of newer and newer experiences. The gopis were endowed with more sweetness than the women of Swarga. From far off, Krishna sent this enjoyment to Balaram because he was pleased in his heart with how Balaram had appeased the gopis. Balaram consoled all of Krishna's friends and even his gopis when he came more than they had been previously because of revealing to them their eternal pastimes with Krishna. Krishna, understanding this, will also be consoled. Balaram says, Sarveshang Kushalom Kushalam Krishna Jeshang Kushalam Ichasi. O Krishna, all those whose good health you desire are in good health. Harivansa, that's from the Harivansa. In showing the Prakat pastimes, there is no descriptions of Balaram living, since that portion was filled with suffering. Vishnu Purana merely says, Masa Dvayena Yatas Cha Punasa Dwarakampurim. Staying 2 months, Balaram returned to Dwarka. So, Srila Jiva Goswami highlights also that they obviously for 2 months Balaram gave so much happiness and enjoyed so much happiness with the inhabitants of Vrindavan. And what happened when he leaves? They will be again drowned in so much pain of separation. But that was not mentioned in the narrations of the Bhagavatam. And the reason is because for Sukadev Goswami, that was too much of painful to actually being able to narrate again, in terms of the suffering of the Brijavasis. And same, Maharaj Parikshit was not eager to hear that. So there's no description of Balaram, what happens when Balaram left after 2 months and went back to Dwarka. So the Harivansa describes Krishna meeting with Balaram when Balaram returns to Dwarka. Long Sanskrit, I read the translation. Balaram is still wearing traveler's dress, beautiful, with a new garland on his chest, embraced Krishna. Seeing Balaram coming quickly, Krishna rose and offered him an excellent seat. Seeing him, Krishna asked him about the welfare of all his friends and the cows. Balaram answered his brother, who spoke sweetly, O Krishna, all those whose good health you desire are fine. End of quote. Then the two spoke on various subjects of former times in front of Vasudeva. Because they were in the assembly, general questions and answers were given. In private, Krishna asked about his gopis. And there's a little bit of Sanatana Goswami also that is very nice on these comments on this verse. Srila Sanatana Goswami writes, in the manner described, Evan, drinking Varuni and dressing colorfully, Balaram enjoyed. The many nights of over 2 months passed as if was one night. He enjoyed with the woman of Braja. Belonging to Braja, they were qualified for him. His mind was attracted by the great beauty and skills Madhurjai. Though it seems one night, it was actually many nights. And in the case of, like as in the case of Kandu, thinking that a few hundred years of enjoyment with Pramlocha was only one day. He had more bliss here than in Dwarka with Revati. Krishna sent him to Braja out of affection to experience this unprecedented happiness. On the strength of Krishna's word, he enjoyed with the gopis in Braja. That's Srila Sanatana Goswami. So there is many descriptions by the acharyas on this Lord Balaram's performing this Rasa Jatra or this Rasa Lila during this particular time. There was another description in the past tense in the Braja Lila pastimes in which is described that Lord Balaram also danced with his own gopis after the killing of Shankashuta. Remember, Shankashuta was the one who was trying to take the gopis away, and then Krishna just killing. Unless I think one of us read, I think you read something like that. And during that time, after the killing of Shankashuta, then Krishna performed Rasa Lila, and then Balaram also danced. It is described. So, but in general, Lord Balaram's mood and descriptions in Vrindavan is just focused on Lord Balaram as a cowherd boy and in a mood of friendship with Krishna. When it comes to Madhurya Lila, then is Krishna and the gopis. So so this for Lord Balaram, in this case, Lord Balaram had this type of Madhurya Ras that is highlighted in the pastime, in which he is just as Krishna enjoying with the gopis in this way. And I liked also, because it's such a beautiful description that is given by one of our wonderful acharyas, is the great acharya Narahari Chakravarti Thakur. He wrote this beautiful book that is called the Bhakti Ratnakara, and the jewel necklace of devotion, in which he describes all the Braja Lila pastimes along with the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya and the pastimes of the different Vaishnava acharyas, specifically some of the Goswamis, Rupa, Sanatana, and Jiva Goswami. And in the book, Srila Narahari Chakravarti Thakur described the narration is based on what was his name? This acharya who was taking Srinivas. He was this, I think, Ragna. Let me see if I find it here. Oh, 1 second. Yes, Raghavacharya. So Raghavacharya was taking Srinivasacharya as a young student. We know Srinivasacharya was one of the students of Srila Jiva Goswami, and uh, Srila Raghava Pandit took him into, you know, in the parikram around Vrindavan, and then to the different places of the pastimes of Lord Krishna. And in that parikram, he was describing in each place, he was describing the particular pastimes. Something that, when we do parikram, especially the Bhagavatam parikram, we hear from devotees, and remember having the opportunity of, going with a famous, Dinabandhu Prabhu, and he tells all these stories, and, and he tells stories from this particular book that is very wonderful. So, so the description of this place, which is called Ramghat, where Lord Balaram performed these pastimes, though Srila and Narahara Chakravarti Thakur described Srila Raghava Pandit explaining this particular pastime in this place where it took, this area where it took place at Ramghat to Srinivasacharya. And the description is just very beautiful. And it's almost like, the condensed description of the whole chapter. And also he describes, which is very wonderful, I'm going to read that. Hopefully we have plenty of time. Describe Lord Nityananda when he visited Vrindavan. And Lord Nityananda is Lord Balaram coming to that place. And then what happened? So we read about that. Balaram, the son of Rohini, performed his Rasa Lila in Rana Ghat. This place is situated quite a long distance from where Krishna had his Rasa Kele or Rasa Keli. Balaram was a second body of Krishna himself, and the depth of his real self was like the depth of a million oceans. He came to Braja from Dwarka and stayed during the 2 months of Chaita and Vaishak to console Srinanda, Jashoda, and the others. He pleased his Sakas in various ways. There also Balaram gives solace to all the Krishna Priyas and charmed his own dear and loving gopis by having leelas with them. At that time, Krishna killed Sankachuta. Then Krishna and Balaram both perform divine leelas with their own lovers and play holy. Only a learned devotee can describe the beauty of these celestial activities. In Sri Krishna Chaitanya Charita, Murari Gupta says, quote, "Look at Rama and Krishna, who are covered with jewels and suitable dresses for springtime. In a humorous mood, they perform their kelis with their own beautiful Braja ladies. They are gracefully dancing and singing in a delightful mood with their pretty gopis." So this is the spring Rasa Lila that is described that Lord Balaram also performed. This is after killing Shankachuta. The gopis who were not fortunate enough to associate with Krishna forgot their sorrows when Balaram performed his lila with them. How Balaram increased their enjoyment is beyond description. So that was also described uh, during this chapter, some our acharyas, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Jiva Goswami, and Sanatana Goswami, describe that the gopis in which Lord Balaram was performing his Rasa Lila at this time were the very young gopis. They were too young to perform Rasa Lila during the time that Krishna was there. But now they were of age that they can perform the Rasa Lila, and they did with Lord Balaram. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it's stated that Bhagavan Sri Balaram stayed in Braja for 2 months and supplied divine enjoyment to the gopis each night. Sri Raghava continued to describe the beauty of Balaram at the time of his Rasa Keli. O Srinivas, knowing that he will perform his Rasa Lila with his dear lovers, Balaram happily came to this place. This pleasant spot, situated near the Yamuna River, was continually filled with scented air. The flowers of the gardens were in full bloom, and the sky was bright from the full moon. The humming of the bumble and, and the sweet whistling of different birds surcharged the atmosphere. Millions of male and female peacocks danced, and many deer played in the garden. As Balaram relaxed beneath a tree, the guards in heaven sung the glories of Rohini Nandan, whose beauty and posture could fascinate the world. The following is a song. Glory to the valiant Rohini Nandan. The white conch kunda flowers camphor and the silver white mountain bow down to Balaram's beautiful bright complexion, his curly hair, the beauty of the carefree locks of hair on his forehead, his brilliant tilak. He steers the heart of the young maidens. His lotus eyes are restless, and his eyebrows dance like black bumblebees near his bright earrings. With a short nose and a face which conquers the splendors of the moon, it seems like nectar pours from his body. His arms are decorated with bangles and jewels. Necklace adorn his strong chest. His thin waist makes the lion feel insufficient, and his blue dress enhances his figure. His beautiful shaped thighs and feet fascinates the hearts of all who see him. That was the son of the demigods, of the what is it here? The guards of in heavens. O Srinivas, who can keep his composure seeing the splendor of Baladev? It was here that Ram sat on a jewel throne in a graceful Ramotsava dress. The beauty of Baladev conquers millions of Kamadev, and every movement of his charms the Munis and Indras. The glory of his body, which brightens the 3 worlds, can win the pride of a million moons. The silky black curly hair covering his head is decorated with a jewel-set crown and flowers. His lips are as red as the bimba fruit, and his teeth sparkle like pearls. A garland of Vaijayanti dangles from his powerful neck. His the reddish color of the soles of his feet defeat the sun, and the brightness of his nails conquer the darkness. And unable to describe the beauty of Baladev, and there is no comparison to him in this world. Whoever absorbs the gracefulness of Baladev is a most fortunate person. In the Puranas, Baladev Dhyana is written as follows, quote, in this place, Rohini Nandan Balaram stood in a threefold bending form and blew joyfully his horn. So it's not a flute but a horn. The sound of which moved the heart of Brahma and others. O Srinivas, with one mouth only, how can I describe the beauty of Balai's lila? Here, in this moon-lit Jamuna Upavana, Balaram engaged in lila surrounded by millions of gopis. So you can imagine the picture of Sri Raghava Pandit in ecstasy in this place in Vrindavan, describing the beauty of Slo Balaram to Srinivasacharya. So he continued. In that Upavana, near the Jamuna, which was flooded by bright moonlight and covered with the scent of lotuses, Balaram performed his Rasalila. Then Varuni Devi, sent by her father Varuna, flew from a hole in a tree and filled the entire atmosphere with a sweet scent of wine. Baladev breathed the scent and drank the wine with his beloved gopis in that garden. Srimad Bhagavatam. Raghava Pandit continued his story. After drinking the wine, Rohini Nandan engaged himself in divine love with his gopis. Some of the gopis played with mridanga, ranika, and other instruments, while other gopis sang the glories of Balaram in beautiful songs based on beautiful tunes and beats. Lord Balaram and others were moved by the music. Sri Balaram himself became overwhelmed by the dance, the songs, and music, and soon the Rasa Mandir was filled with celestial joy. So it's a little more description of how in the verse of today, this Madhur Jai, which means the enchanting atmosphere, the enchanting beauty of the expertise of these gopis, the skills and expertise and their charming beauty, how Lord Balaram was enjoying. So here's a little more description how expert they were in all these different arts. To enjoy water sport with his lovers, Balaram brought the Jamuna near by pulling her with his plow and then sported in her water. After bathing, Balaram changed his dress, drank honey and wine, and spent the night with his associates. In the early morning, the gopis could not bear the separation from Balaram and did not want to return to their homes. Balaram consoled them in many ways and sent them to their houses. Out of fear for Balaram, the Jamuna offered him prayers, and folding her hands, she threw herself at his feet. When by her own quiet nature the Jamuna was flowing to the South Ocean, she did not respond to the order of Balaram, and thus he pulled her with his plow. In this place, the Jamuna can be seen as she is. I sing the glory of this place with my devoted heart. Sri Raghavat told his followers the Rasa Stali is famous throughout the world, and the devotees offer their worship in this Ram Ghat Pradesh. And this is now, he narrates, Nityananda Prabhu's Lila in Ram Ghat. So Lord Nityananda, when he stayed in Vrindavan, as he come to this place, so here's what happened. Whoever hears the glories of Ram God can be easily free from worldly life. During his pilgrimage, Sri Rasavilas Ram Nityananda Roy passed some days here. He plays with the cowherd boys and ate curd, milk, roots, and fruits whenever he felt hungry. He unsuccessfully trying to conceal the perplexities he felt as Balaram. The local people say, this must be Rohini Nandan traveling in Braja as an Avaduta. Seeing Nityananda's divine performance, people of different ages were attracted. Raghava showed the Shakata tree whose wood Nityananda used to clean his teeth. In Ramghat, there is a Brahmin who could not live for a moment without the thought of Baladev. To satisfy his devotee, Nityananda gave him darshan as Baladev. Here also, Kalindi prayed to Nityananda, Sri Vasha Vilash Balaram. Even the demigods could not restrain tears of ecstasy in watching the spores of Nityananda in this place. When Nityananda slept on a bed of dust beneath the tree, he will always call out in his dreams, when will the emancipation of these wretched souls take place? When is Navadvip going to reveal himself in when is Navadvip going to reveal himself in Navadvip? I will witness it with my own eyes. No one could understand the meanings of this world. So this was, remember that Lord Nityananda was in Vrindavan waiting for the manifestation of Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan, Lila. And so he was, during his dream, saying like this, basically, when Lord Chaitanya will manifest, his Sankirtan pastime. And then when he understood there was the right time, then he went to Navadvip. And then union of Lord Nityananda and Lord Gauranga happened. Beautiful. Kachavana is a place near Ramghat where the children used to play as Kachapa, turtle. In Bhushanavan, the shakas dress Krishna in flower ornaments. All these places are famous for Krishna Vilas. While describing these holy places, Sri Raghava and his followers passed through the forest whose beauty created restlessness within his mind. Seeing Bandirabat, or banyan trees, he sighted. At this place, Balaram and Krishna used to restless for fun, and they also let Pralamba join them as one of their sakas. This is a different place, and now he's narrating, Bandirabat, the big banyan tree that used to be so big that the branches used to go over the Jamuna. And that was a place where Krishna will have lunch every day with the cowherd boys. So, anyway, they give a little entrance into this, the beautiful narrations from Srila Naraha Chakravarti Thakur of these pastimes of Lord Balaram in this place. And how, how beautiful and special it is, just in the equal level of Krishna's Rasa Lila pastimes and description, like that. So I thought to read that. I'm going to stop here. If you have any thoughts or comments or questions. Just wait for the minute.
Hare Krishna.
Hey, Sam.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Hey, Sam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for nice class, Prabhuji. Good description about Lord Balaram. Prabhuji, um, if Krishna, Balaram is the expansion of Krishna. Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. Why
Krishna's.
Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, and why the Balaram is elder brother of Krishna?
Why?
Why Balaram is the elder brother of
Oh,
Krishna?
the position of having been the brother. I'm not sure. It's a lila in one sense. I mean, we learn as we hear, and from the charyas that everything has a very deeper meaning. It's like oceans of meaning, very it's unlimited depth. So um, we we can understand that there is a there's a particular there's a particular position. I mean, to be the brother of Krishna, to be that in the have that position, and not only that, that we see that also that same expansion, whatever there's one of these great personalities like Lord Ram, then Lord Ramachan, Lord Balaram comes also his presence there, and with Lord Chaitanya is Lord Nityananda, like that. So this position of being the brother um, in um, is I'm not sure. I'm not say I don't know how to answer that question. You know, I mean, the only thing is I can say is it facilitates the particular desire of Krishna. It's the same way that Krishna, have particular, you can ask the different things also with gopis as his expansions, is his energy, their shakti. So why taking that form of that form? It is Krishna's. It is explained. One thing that I remember that I may say that one of the explanations that is given is that because Krishna desired to enjoy, he expands himself. So the first expansion is Lord Balaram, and Lord Balaram then facilitates, all the things that are required for Krishna to enjoy. Yeah, not sure, that much I can say, but it may we may do a little research and find out, from some qualified. Yeah. Any other question?
it's rather fascinating to hear Narahari Thakur relaying Raghava Pandit's narration of the pastime of Lord Balaram in Ramgat. So one of the things that struck me is this capacity in that elevated state to also hear sound, because he's narrating that there's particular beats that the gopis are playing and particular tunes and particular songs glorifying Lord Balaram. So it means that it's been heard. So I thought that was rather fascinating. It's like literally being present to both see and hear. So I was just thinking of.
Yeah, that's something that is always described with these great personalities, that they're actually able to, that the past tense is revealed within their hearts. So they're able to experience, and witness that type of beauty. And he said, it cannot be described with one mouth. So, what he experienced cannot be described. And just here's something, but, it's actually, it won't make, it won't able to cover or to describe just with these words. And even to hear those words, it really does something to one's heart, What to speak of experiencing the real thing like he experienced, to be witnessing these pastimes. You can only imagine how so beautifully described the sounds and the scents and the sights of the beautiful forest, and then these beautiful dances of Raja, just with expertly singing and creating music with with songs glorifying Lord Balaram. You can only imagine the beauty. When we go to these places of pilgrimage in association with devotees, and we hear these pastimes and being, in the place, one can have, there's something so special to do these parikrams and listen from the devotees. The experience itself also is a static experience, and we all have, in some form or other, have the opportunity to have this um, pilgrimage. It's so important to do. But yeah, I thought to read, because the book, this Bhakti Ragnakara is a very famous book, because it describes all these different pastimes, also not only of Krishna but also of the Goswamis, like the pastimes of um, um, Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami with the braid that Shrimati Radharani that looks like a snake. All these pastimes are narrated there. So very wonderful, wonderful little book. Any other comment or question? All right. Thank you so much. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.